first.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Matt, maybe in?
He just called me. I'll text him.
Okay.
Roll call.
Okay.
Wyatt,
Here.
Sewell,
Here.
Lawson.
Here.
Buns,
Present.
and Reister is absent at the moment.
Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Citizens request oral presentations. Was Matt at Public Works? Jeff?
Yes, he was.
The Zoom's not working, so I wanted to call in.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Good, hey, sorry about that, the problem's on my end.
Okay, well, good. Do you want to go through the Public Works Committee report, or you want Jeff to do it here?
I'll be great if Jeff will do it.
Okay, he'll do her.
Obviously, we'll do that.
Catch that. So we met June 16th, 7 o'clock here in the Chamber of Commerce Hall. We discussed the reconstruction of Wood Street and some underground utilities, some projects that we're looking on that street coming forward for next fiscal year. The bridge on Ranchero, come to find out, we already own half of it.
Good to know.
That bridge was a major overhaul in the 1990s. We're getting some pricing on a box culvert and some other things to see what that would run us, to see what we could do with the county.
In fact, the additional thing on that, the 28E agreement that we have with the county right now has us responsible for all the maintenance across that
Nice.
when they were swapping these various roads. So we already got 100% responsibility for maintenance. If it was ever replaced, if it was half county, county would pay half, but
It's been replaced since the 1900s.
yeah.
Yes.
This is
The only limiting factor on the bridge was the width. It's a 21-foot wide bridge, so, but it's very similar to what we have on Butterfield.
Yep.
And with the box culvert, width wouldn't be an issue,
Yeah, no, width you could get whatever you want, pretty
Yep.
much. So.
knowing that,
Yeah, it's
you
like a
know,
box culvert. Box culvert is what's in Glenwood Chase edition, going around the curve, that's a box culvert.
Yep.
okay.
Which was really, those days, wasn't very expensive.
Now it is.
Okay.
We also discussed the downtown landscaping project. We approved up to $1,400 to help fund that from the city. This is beautification, planting some plants, that stuff around downtown, so. The next thing we discussed was equipment wish list of things that could be coming for next year. One thing on there was a snow blower that Cedar Falls might be trading in. We're looking at that. Possibly an F-250 sander for that box. So just some things we're looking at, trying to get on the agenda for next coming fiscal year.
So the snow blower that the city's been using is a 68 model?
Yep, it's got some whiskers on it.
That's lasted a while, I'm really impressed.
And as we're venturing out further and further from the city, the snow blower is probably gonna become more important.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to have to deal with a 68 snow blower personally.
You work on it as much as you run it.
But then my husband does that stuff, so you know. But he has to have the best.
We discussed the bridge in Freedom Park. We had a bid for it, but we went back with some questions on it right now to see what we need to do on that project. We talked about a culvert. I'm not too sure if that's gonna be the best avenue, but we're exploring a couple opportunities there. So, with that, we adjourn.
Any questions for Jeff or Matt? Thank you.
Yep. What are you laughing at?
You're doing a great job.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt.
Public Safety Committee meeting, Kate.
We met Thursday, June 24th here at the council chambers. First up was concerned citizen with the 45-mile-per-hour speed zone on Schrock to the city limits. We are definitely interested in potentially lowering that, however, we only own half of that road too, so we own half a lot of things around here, apparently. They are doing a speed study, Chief Banks has been in touch with people doing speed studies, so, conversation about golf carts on Schrock Road. Golf carts are not legally allowed on Schrock Road and are going to be enforced by our police department that way. Lots of discussion about creating paths around somewhere in that, what I call the new addition, it's really not a new addition anymore, over there on the east side of 63, coming back towards this way. I talked about a resident in Ranchero concerned about speeding out there again with the large vehicle traffic and speed zones. We've got the trailer out there right now, the speed trailer out there that has the fun lights on it when you're speeding, because I was speeding the other day.
I noticed it too.
Yeah, it's fun. Hey, I was doing like 29 and it was still going crazy, so it was fun. We are talking with, Christy's talking with Intercog about putting weight limit embargoes on that road and limitations and things that we can do to help with that, but again, we're gonna try to enforce it and see what we can do best. Street parking and dumpsters were brought up. I've gotten personally a couple complaints about dumpsters that are being parked in the streets for extended period. There is a parking ordinance for vehicles and trailers. Dumpsters should be included too. We did talk about implementing a week-to-week permitting process without fees on it, just so that we have a contact information so that we can know how much that is. There was discussion about the newer additions being developed. We don't own those streets yet, so it's a difference of, in new construction areas, you can have them there because we don't have the laws on those streets yet. But existing areas, there's one that Jake and I, we need to chat after this meeting to make sure it's gone before Hudson Days. Officer Weber resigned from his position. We are going to start looking, there is a large gap between salaries between Hudson and larger cities, which obviously we know we're not gonna compete one-on-one with. So we're looking at doing some salary studies, just to make sure that we don't always have to be the highest, but we don't need to be the lowest by any means as well, so we wanna make sure we compensate our officers to the best of our abilities. We are moving a part-time officer, and I'm not gonna try to say his name because I won't say it right. Yep, from part-time up to full-time, and then there have been some applications, there's ads out for a part-time and another full-time to replace where we need to be to begin with. We discussed the new police truck. If those guys could start getting some microchips to be put in trucks, that would be fantastic, so we can get some trucks built and actually in our hands, would be awesome. I've talked with Bill Caldwell Ford, they are confident we're looking at October, November, hopefully, so we've got some issues with the current vehicles that we're gonna have to keep limping along until we can get those. And then we also discussed in-car and body camera replacement, I believe that is on the agenda for tonight. So we'll discuss that a little bit more later. And then we just had a last kind of talk about golf carts and legality of where they go. They are cars driven, not to be driven inside parks, not to be driven inside ballparks. So we are looking at doing some community education about where we can drive and park golf carts on. And then probably next season, before handing out renewals, making sure we get updated rules out to all those citizens that are registering golf carts, so. That was a really long meeting for us, we adjourned at 5:34.
Thanks, Kate. Any questions for Kate?
Was there any options on the police truck?
We've signed the bid, we've accepted the bid.
Is there any penalty for late delivery? I know there's things going on with the automotive. We didn't put that in the packet.
I don't know that we really can when you're purchasing and it's a worldwide pandemic. It's not just us, it's not just Ford, it's not just anywhere.
So what happens on the price if it's a 22 versus?
It will not be a 22, it is going to be a 21.
Today?
No, it will be a 21. They cut off, it's already been in process, I talked to Blake about it. They cut off ordering 21s in May, so our truck stayed at 21 and will not roll to a 22.
Okay.
So the price is the price.
But we had no other options.
The only other option
We
would
do
be.
have, we do have another option. We can go to a Chevy which I know Kate's probably, her eyes are burning at me right now. We can go through Carl Chevrolet and Des Moines, we can have a car here as early as 2 months. You know,
But we're-
with pennies, price difference. So we can purchase it, upfit it, and we can have it on the street within a couple months.
But you're looking at 3 months, and we've already accepted, they have that truck, we've signed the contract with them. So if we go buy a Chevy, we buy the Ford too.
Go with that, I would, and I apologize to Sergeant Wiersma, I didn't speak up much about it during the meeting. We can go with the Chevy now, but keep the Ford on order to replace the next vehicle, which would be my truck.
And that was scheduled for 22 anyway, right?
My truck was gonna go in 22 anyway, so,
But we don't have the budget to do that at
yeah,
this point.
at this point, no.
You're looking at an additional $50,000 to $60,000 to put another vehicle in.
Are we confident October?
I am, after speaking with Blake, he is confident it should be built in October, would be here late October, early November.
So it's not built yet?
No,
Okay, I thought it was built sitting, how you made that sound.
no.
Okay.
It's on the rolls with everything else. They make retail vehicles before they make fleet vehicles.
Yep, yep.
Obviously, that makes sense Ford-wise.
Yep,
Um,
profit-wise and everything for the company, yep.
mhm.
With the truck, we're just throwing some stuff so we're all on the same page. Yeah, we get the truck, now we have to send it out somewhere for another month or two to get built, but we need the specs. Carl, they have the car on the lot now and they can outfit it right now. We just gotta tell them what we want. So,
Do we have it in the budget for next year?
No.
Oh, your replacement's not in the budget for next year?
no, we'll eventually, with revenue and whatnot, I'll budget in to probably late next year, hopefully. Right now, my truck really doesn't need to go. I just hit 79,000 miles and I put maybe 20 miles a day on it.
At this point, I mean, we haven't gone through committee with it. At this point, there's nothing on council to change this unless it goes back through committee. You're talking 3 months that's gonna be here versus 2 months, and using a local vendor versus going out to Des Moines.
I
So
just
we-
didn't know the urgency of how bad we need it.
We've got 4 police vehicles right now. We are having nickel and dime issues with a couple.
Yeah, we just got back what would be considered squad number 1, the Ford Explorer, we're at 53,000. But yeah, that's,
To me, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got the vehicles to get through for 3 months.
hopefully.
We've got 4 vehicles.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
If we can't make it 3 months with 4 vehicles when we've
Oh,
done
we'll
2
be fine.
vehicles for the rest,
We can be
forever,
fine. We can
we've got
rotate them.
issues, yeah.
We can rotate them.
So to me, we have time to plan. We've got this on order. We can't, I mean, we've signed the contract, it's gonna be here. And that's kind of what it is at this point. But we can continue to discuss in the Public Safety Committee before we bring anything back to council, if anything would change. But at this point, that's where we're at.
Okay, no, I think it might be good, at least put that discussion out there so we know if we needed to do something quickly, what could we do?
Yeah, just,
So,
yes, that's everything. So,
What else?
Hiring full-time police officer, does that needs to come to personnel?
That was approved before, they just haven't replaced him from retirement and leaving.
Is it Dietrich replacement yet?
Okay.
Because Wiersma went in there and fully replaced, right?
Yep.
So that's where
Yeah,
it gets it
Wiersma
back to
moved-
the staff that's already.
But if you're
approved.
gonna hire another full-time.
here's that, thank you for bringing that up. So, yes, for the new coming in,
Right,
that goes,
Through personnel.
okay, cool.
Right. Yep.
and we sit in
We'll
on
figure out
those,
who interviews,
sit on those interviews.
obviously, chief and whoever we
Right.
want to assist him.
And we're already taking applications, and are we getting good numbers?
We got 5.
Okay.
4 for the full-time position, 1 for part-time, and out of the 4, 1 certified. So, I like the
Otherwise, they
certified.
have to get certified after they come on board?
Yes,
And then they have what did we decide, a 4-year?
they signed a 4-year contract with the city.
that they pay back their certification funds if they leave before the 4 years is up, once we pay, because we pay to certify them.
And they have a deadline to get certified, which is, what, is that 2 years?
Year.
A year.
And how widely do we advertise?
That's.
I did it on Facebook, the Courier, the League of Cities, and the Hudson Herald. That's standard, that's what I do. And then also on the Cedar Valley Chamber.
You did do theirs, because theirs is free, right?
Yeah, the only two that we have to pay for is the Courier and the Herald.
Do we ever like reach out to any of the police academies or anything like that to, I mean, do they have any outlets for?
I spoke with Officer Lucidich, who was just in the academy. The one that's certified, that applied, was in his class. Okay, put your feelers out there.
Usually if they're already in the academy, they've got a place that's paying for them to go to the academy, aren't they?
Yeah, but with, I don't know if you remember with Amara, as soon as she got certified, she put her resignation in with Marge, and went straight to Waterloo.
And then had to pay.
Damon
Waterloo
Spencer
paid
did the
back.
same thing.
Yeah, so
He went to Coralville.
And
that's,
then Waterloo pay, or they pay us back for that?
They pay them back out of pocket, out of their own
that's
pocket.
one of the things we need to talk
Yeah.
about with salaries to keep our
Right.
officers here.
And we made a fairly good movement in
2 years.
the, with the salaries,
Mhm.
including the union contract 4 years ago. Fairly good jump. This last year, we made a very small jump, but we are still way out of whack. Because what was it, went from 22,000 to from $22 an hour to $28 an hour. for an officer,
Waterloo starts
something like
out at
that.
a little over $28 an hour for first year.
Which isn't way out of whack when we say that. I mean, that's $6,000 a year, which, I mean, it's $4 or $5 and $5-6 an hour.
No, it's $12,000 a year because it's 22 versus $28 an hour. Correct?
Hey, you're the one, you're the numbers guy.
There's
Yeah.
2,080 hours
Yeah.
of work.
Like
hours
$5
a
an
year.
hour is $10,000 a year
Correct.
usually.
So there's $6 times 2 is $12,000 a year.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of ways to go. I was
did-
thinking half of that. so.
I did reach out to Evansdale and I got their contract, so.
We'll meet next month and we'll get on that right away. so.
Okay, I'll give it to Chrissy so she can give it out.
Thank you.
And they
Thank you.
also, if they work 2 years, they only have to, after they've gotten certified that we paid for, they only have to pay 50%
Yeah,
back, right?
percentage.
It's prorated,
Yep.
depending on how long they work.
Yeah, we've kind of discussed that we're never gonna match.
Right.
I don't think we can. Financially, I don't think, first of all, I don't know that we should, again. I mean, it's a different ballgame, but I want the best for our officers and to keep them there as long as possible. But we're in a unique situation, being a bedroom community that's this close to both Waterloo, Cedar Falls, Waverly, all of those towns that are so much bigger than us. And Hudson is gonna be a stepping stone, like the school uses a stepping stone for education too. So we gotta try the best we can to get as close as we can, and still be responsible and everything else, so.
No discussion? Public hearing. Open the public hearing on the addition to the Hudson Northern Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area and on Urban Renewal Plan. Is that the buyers? This one, or is that the, no, this is Kurt's.
This is Kurt.
No.
We don't.
Any written comments?
No.
Any oral comments? Closed public hearing. General government, Hudson City Council maintains the right to waive the first and second readings of the ordinances presented and may pass the third and final reading of the same ordinance within the same council meeting. Item A, discussion action to approve the second reading of ordinance 845, an ordinance authorizing tax exemption under the urban revitalization plan for industrial use in accordance with Hudson Code of Ordinances 8.07. This is 3640 Fast Lane, Unit C and D.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Sewell,
Aye.
Larson, Lawson,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Munns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Sorry, no idea where that came from.
Item B, discussion action to approve resolution 2791, a resolution approving voluntary annexation. And this is obviously in Kurt's, and we had the discussion at the last meeting relative to concern from one of the Hudson residents as far as the bridge. We've since researched that from the standpoint that we were already responsible for all the maintenance because half of it's already the city of Hudson. So it's already our maintenance just because of the 28E agreement that happens to be signed with the city of, or with Black Hawk County. If we were to eventually replace it, if it was still Marshall County, they would be 50-50. However, if this annexation is approved, then we will be basically on the hook for 100%. Now, in some cases, Ryan Brennan from the county said that sometimes they do get involved with assistance on bridges that are heavily involved, but I have not started those discussions. But obviously, if there was annexation approved tonight, I would start those discussions to see if we could actually formalize agreement. From the standpoint, as was noted in the Public Works comments, the bridge was repaired significantly or replaced in 1990. Repaired. And from the standpoint of reports that we've had on it, it's in good shape.
It's not on the watch list
No.
or whatever for the
No.
bridges that we've had.
No.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Thank you for all your research into that and for your patience with letting us find out all the info.
Any discussion points, Matt?
Nope.
Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks, Kurt.
Good evening,
You
everyone.
Yeah.
too.
See ya.
This is where Larson comes from. Item C, discussion action to approve resolution 2792, resolution to reappoint library trustee member, which is Debbie Larson.
Maybe.
So moved.
Might be.
Second?
Uh,
Who
Discussion?
seconded it?
One quick question.
Lori did.
Yeah.
Thank
Lori
you.
did. Do we ever, not that I want to do this with her, but she's been on this board since 1991. Do we do any term limits with anybody?
Not,
I mean, I'm okay, this
We-
is
we never-
100% it's theirs and they
Yeah.
can do what they want to
it's
with it.
exact, we have term limits on our other committees. I thought we had a couple of them, you
The
could only have
only-
2 terms.
HMEU board is the only one that comes to mind that they can do 2 terms.
Okay.
And that's
The old
set by,
HMCU was, but nobody's on that anymore.
Correct.
right,
Yeah, but,
HMEU is regulated by,
yeah,
public
that's just what the codes,
utilities,
that's just what
whatever.
our ordinances say, that they can only be 2 terms.
I
but-
just was curious as to.
Yeah, none of our other committees are that way, because we have planning and zoning people that have been on there for 20
That's
years,
true.
But
so.
we also have the mayor's right to appoint or not appoint.
Correct,
or
yes,
anything.
absolutely, yep.
Okay, no, I thank you for your service for this
Oh,
many
yeah.
years, because that's a long
Yeah,
time.
it's been on a long
Yeah,
time.
and they've had enough changes where people.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
they have good eyes on that board, so,
yeah.
I was just curious, thank you, sorry.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Buns,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
5-0.
Item D, discussion action to approve resolution 2793, a resolution accepting the resignation of employee and moving the current part-time police officer to full-time.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Well, Miss Connor,
Yep. Mr. Will. Roll call.
Wyatt,
aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
carries 5-0.
Can we say, no, we won't accept your resignation, you just have to stay?
I wish you said.
Did I read he went to Waterloo?
He's
Yeah.
gonna.
He'll be working with my nephew.
There you go.
Item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2794, a resolution approving the transfer of funds. And this is fiscal year-end transfers, that's why it's a 2-page transfer list as opposed to a 1-page.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Uh,
Reister,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
motion carries 5-0.
Item F, discussion action to approve resolution 2795, resolution to declare necessity and establish an urban renewal area pursuant to section 403.4 of the Code of Iowa, and to approve an urban renewal plan amendment for the Hudson Northern Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area. And Chrissy, which one's this?
This is for Kurt, this is for his
Kurt,
development
okay.
agreement.
Gotcha.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second,
Discussion. Roll call.
Sewell,
Aye.
Wyatt,
aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
carries 5-0.
Item H.
G.
G. Gee, I'm trying to jump on this, too many words. Discussion action to approve the first reading of ordinance 847, an ordinance providing for the division of taxes levied on taxable property in the June 21 addition to the Hudson Northern Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area pursuant to section 403.19.
Again, this is favors.
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
The discussion. Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
carries 5-0.
Item H, discussion action to approve resolution 2796, a resolution setting a date of meeting which is proposed to approve a development agreement with Jennifer and Kurt Beavers, including the annual appropriation tax increment payments, public hearing date of July 12th of 2021.
So moved.
Second, this is just to set the public hearing, right?
Yeah, this is set the public
We
hearing.
just
Yep,
read
so
legally for
the
some
public
reason.
hearing that we did have was adding his property back into the area, but it's all the same property.
Okay.
Roll call.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
motion carries 5-0.
As a side question, Chrissy, what are the next actions on the RJ buyers?
The public hearing for the urban revitalization plan will be on the 12th.
That's
and
right, 'cause
then-
that one was set 30 days out.
Yep, and then we have the other waiting period, and we should be able to approve that,
Okay.
that whole plan at the second meeting in July.
I forgot that that was a 30 days.
Yeah,
I was
yep,
thinking it was
yep.
gonna be here. Okay, thanks.
He's got his plans to go over, ready to go.
No, but he could,
It'll all be contingent on.
Yeah.
He's working on it.
yes.
Good.
Item I,
Yep,
discussion action to approve resolution 2797, a resolution to approve the purchase of in-car and body camera equipment for the police department, and I believe that is from Geldick,
Nope.
No.
GTEC.
GTEC.
Somebody tech.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, guys.
Chief, thank you.
Thank you.
A few informational items noted, reminder items, regular scheduled meetings held at council chambers except for electric board and library board. Public Works, July 14th, 7 a.m. Mayor's Task Force, we might have one actually, July 19th at 5 p.m. Depending on how tomorrow goes. Public Safety Committee meeting, July 22nd, 4 p.m. Personnel Admin Finance Committee, July 26th at 4:45. Next council meetings, Monday, July 12th, and Monday, July 26th. Matt, would you like to move to adjourn?
You bet. Move to adjourn. Thanks for accommodation.
You betcha.
Second.
Thanks for calling in. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you.